All right. Today is December 9th, 2016. And Mackenzie, you've seen me before, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Just to kind of revamp those same concepts that we went over last time, that this is a confidential time, so anything that you do say here is going to stay with me. I'm not going to tell anyone else unless it's to do with those three different things. If you're going to hurt yourself, if you want to hurt somebody else, or if somebody else is hurting you, those would be the 3 times that I would have to report that. Outside of here, here's that document one more time. I like to give you that each time that we're here so you can just look at it. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
No. Can you just say your name one more time for educational purposes?
Mackenzie, M-C-K-E-N-Z-I-E.
Okay, and what is your last name?
M-Y-H-R-E.
Myrie. Can you make sure that you talk nice and loud so the tape can hear you for the next questions? And you're 8 years old, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so for this exercise, we are going to kind of think about 2 memories as far back as you can remember, 2 things that you remember, and they shouldn't be like memories like my favorite fruit when I was 3 was an apple. More like a memory, kind of like maybe something that you did with your family, or a memory of something difficult that you went through, and as many details as you can remember about those memories. So we'll kind of do one at a time. We'll walk through them. I might ask some questions, and then we'll go to the next one, okay?
Okay.
Do you want to take just a second to just think about it as far back as you can remember, okay?
I just have one that stumped me, and I was only 6. Yeah, I was only 6, so that was really only like 1 year ago.
So 6 years old.
We are at our old house.
Okay. Who's we?
My mom, my dad, and my sister. Can I include the people that come here every other weekend, too?
You can include whoever was in that memory.
Oh.
Who was in the memory?
Well, those 3.
Who was that?
Alyssa, Kaylee, and Adam.
So it was just Mommy, Daddy, and Kaylee.
Yeah.
Mommy's Alyssa from last time we went over that. Daddy is Adam, and sister is Kaylee.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 3 people in your memory and you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I heard that we were moving, the bad news was that I moved away from one of my first friends that I have ever met, named Maya.
Remember to talk loud enough so the...
I met somebody named Maya. She was one of the first friends that I ever met.
Okay.
And then when I heard that we were moving, I really just was really sad, and I just didn't really want to leave at all. When I found out that we moved to North Branch, after we moved in from North Branch, things started to change. I started to miss her, and I started to have lots of different things just come up to me about her. After I settled in, it was fine about Maya, but other things were happening.
Let's retract a little, okay? We only want to think about one memory, okay? So that's a lot of memories all together. So let's just talk about the one memory of your living in your old house. Your mom and your dad and your sister and you are there, and you found out you were moving, okay?
Okay.
Let's talk just about that memory. So you, in there you said you felt sad?
Yes.
Okay, so you felt sad. And because you lived by a friend, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is is this more self-focused where you're focusing on your feelings, or is this a we focus where everyone was having a hard time?
Not really everybody was having a hard time. I was having the most hard time. I mean,
Okay.
my mom and my dad really had to move because we rented a house.
So it was more self-focused, where your feelings
Yeah.
were hurting, and everyone else's feelings may have been affected a little bit, but in this memory, you just remember you hurting.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So this was happening by a negative experience, right?
Yeah, I don't really know what negative experience
Okay.
is.
So an experience in your life can either be positive, negative, or maybe neutral. So you might have some memories that are really good, and those would be positive memories, and you would have negative experiences where those would be negative memories. Would this be a negative or like a bummer?
A negative or a bummer, yeah.
Yes. So a negative experience that happened was that you heard you had to move and you felt very sad, right?
Yep.
Okay.
When I started hearing that we had to move in a few days, I was like, I don't want to move away. And then that's when it reflected.
Okay. So maybe what other feelings were you feeling? You said sad. What else were you feeling?
I was feeling a little bit jealous because, like, my friend's there and, you know, maybe a little bit jealous, but really not really.
Okay. So a little jealous. You appear to be pretty anxious right now, talking about it. So do you think you were a little anxious when you were moving because you didn't know where you were going?
Yeah, I did, but
Okay. Were you embarrassed or humiliated by that?
not really. But I what's humiliated mean?
Similar to embarrassed. Did you feel like because you moved that you were embarrassed of where you lived now or anything changed?
No.
Okay. So your mom, your dad, your sister were there. Was there anything else that you can remember about that event when you were told that you were going to move? Do you remember where you were when you were told? Were you in the house, outside?
When I heard about it, I was inside.
So inside.
Because usually when I'm outside and playing with Maya, I can't hear anything but Maya and me just playing.
Okay. So you're inside. Mommy and Daddy are there and your sister. You're 6 years old and you're told you have to move.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything else about that memory at all? Just about that moment.
I felt kind of afraid.
Okay, so you had some fear and feeling afraid. Okay. That's good. Do you, was there any confusion?
Not really, no.
Okay, so I'm going to play the memory out one more time just to make sure I have down exactly what happened. Mackenzie is 6 years old at her old house in Wyoming, Minnesota. Her mom and her dad are there with her little sister, Kaylee. Mom and her dad tell you inside your old house that you are going to have to move to a new house.
Yeah.
You become sad, a little jealous,
Yeah.
afraid,
Yep.
fearful.
Yep.
You didn't want to leave.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
just
want to have to
wanna
move because you had a really good friend named Maya
Yep.
who lived around there.
Yeah.
You were anxious. You felt like you were going to miss her.
Yep.
And it was a negative experience for you.
Yep.
And it was very self-focused.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have that down right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you can tell me anything else about that memory, let me know. If you want to take a second to just think, that's okay.
Yeah. I just need a second to think.
Do you remember anything that anyone was wearing? If you were in a specific room of your house?
I think when I was told I was in the kitchen.
So you were in the kitchen at home, okay. Is it hard for you now when you're in your new kitchen? Do you think about that memory a lot?
Not really. when people talk about their friends, maybe, well, when people talk about their friends, maybe, like, if they talk about their old friends, I can get that feeling, but I don't get the feeling around my house unless somebody talks about, oh, look, my bestest friend ever. It's like, oh, yeah. And then that's when I get my memory
Okay.
of that.
So people talking, triggers for you is people talking about friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to a second memory, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And we can take a second to just think about it. I want you to think back as early as you can about something, just a memory. An early memory, okay?
When I was 6 or 7, because when I was still 6, I think we moved into our new house. Then really, I started to see that healing me started finding a lot more.
Okay, I'm just going to stop you really quick. Okay? We need one memory, not something that's going to go on in a period of time. So just one specific memory. So like maybe you can remember one time where you were playing with Keely, one time where you did something, or maybe you went on a vacation that you can remember one time. Not a whole spanned out thing, but just one specific thing that you did.
Oh, okay. One time I went to Florida again.
I need you to talk loud enough so the other people in my class can hear me, okay?
Okay, one time I went to Florida.
Okay, what do you remember? What memory of Florida do you want to talk about? One memory.
Well, how it was really super duper 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 hot.
Okay, so it was hot. But what do you want to talk about? Was there one thing that you can remember that was fun, or one thing that was difficult, or one memory about it?
Okay, well, here's, one time we went to Animal Kingdom,
Okay.
and we went on this ride. We went to going zoom zoom, like, it was, like, really fast, and then we went, like, here, we stopped, and all of a sudden, it went backwards.
Okay.
And then it went upside down and kept going backwards and then reversed to forwards. And it was scary.
Okay. So it went upside down, it went backwards, it went forwards. It seems like it was fast. Was it a roller coaster? Was it a different kind of ride?
It was a roller coaster.
Okay. Did you go on it because you wanted to go on it?
I wanted to go on it, but because I never went on it before.
So this was your first time to Animal Kingdom, right?
Yep.
Okay. Who were you with? Who was in your memory? Did you go by yourself on your roller coaster?
No. I think my mom and my dad went with me on the roller coaster.
Mom and Dad. Was anyone else there with you at the Animal Kingdom?
Yep.
Okay.
Nanny and Keely were doing little arcade rides.
So Nanny and Keely were there, and who's Nanny to you?
Linda.
Okay, who is that though?
That's my mom's mom.
So your grandma?
Yeah.
Okay. So you call her Nanny?
Yep. And you already know that Keely is my sister.
Yep. Keely's your sister. So they were on other rides. So in this memory, it was you and your mom and your dad. What were you feeling when you got on the roller coaster?
Pretty excited.
So you were excited getting on. Were you nervous at all?
Not really,
Okay.
because I was going on other rides at Animal Kingdom. So really, it didn't feel any scary at all at first. At first, we were just going super fast, just going straight, and that didn't scare me at all. When we stopped, and all of a sudden we went down, that's when it scared me. And I was like,
Okay. So you were scared.
Yeah.
So you were happy getting on the ride, but once it stopped and started to go backwards, you got scared.
yeah.
Okay. So there were some scared feelings. Was other people scared, do you think?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure other people were, because I think other little kids must have went on it. because I could hear other people scream.